Hi, my name is Sonia and welcome to today's class. Tell me something. You know, when you promise a friend or maybe a very close family relative that you're going to attend a party or going to do something for them, but then you need to change your decision. You can't really do that. How do you tell them then? That's a very tough thing to do and a very sensitive matter. Sometimes we struggle with words, we don't know how to put across our thought when we have changed a decision. So today I'm going to help you learn some quick and easy phrases on how to talk about changing your decision or changing your opinion about something. Let's see how this works, alright? The first one we have on the board is, I changed my mind. So what does that mean? When I say I changed my mind, I mean to say that I've changed the way I think. Maybe I've changed my opinion. So let's say, for example, I was wanting to buy a car. All right. So for about 4 or 5 months, I was trying to figure out which would be the best car for me to buy. But suddenly, I changed my mind, I changed my opinion about cars, and now I want to buy a bike. So what did I do here? I changed my opinion or I changed my decision to buy a car, and I've now decided to buy a bike. So I've changed my mind means that I have changed my decision or my opinion. It means that I thought about something in the past, but now my decision is different. So if I want to use it in a sentence, I could say, I wanted to buy a car earlier, but I changed my mind and now I want to buy a bike. All right? Next one here. I've had a change of heart. Not literally, but a change of heart means I've changed my decision or my opinion towards something more positive. Yes, all right, it's quite similar to the first one, but here it's when you're talking about changing your decision towards something more positive. Let me give you a really good example. Supposing you're working for a company and it's the Christmas season or it's the holiday season, and your boss has told you that, you guys have to work for Christmas Eve. Now, that's sad news. Who wants to work on Christmas Eve with the festive spirit and the holiday season? You want to be with your family. But, of course, you need to work as well. You can't really go against your boss. But what if suddenly your boss realizes that being with family or giving my employees a holiday on Christmas Eve is equally important or it's the right thing to do? So what he did then, if he changes his decision, he has changed his heart. He has had a change of heart towards something positive, and he gives you a holiday on Christmas Eve. So if I was one of those employees, I would say that, you know what, my boss was being a real pain and making us work on Christmas Eve. However, he had a change of heart and now he's given us an off on Christmas Eve. How lucky are we? All right. So change of heart is to change your decision towards something positive. Okay. So obviously giving your employees a holiday on Christmas Eve and keeping them happy, that's a very positive thing. Next one here, this is very simple, very easy to use. It says, hang on a minute or hang on a second, all right? When do you use this? I use this whenever I'm ordering food, okay? So if I call a pizza place and I've already told them what pizza I want, but then suddenly, I have this change of mind, I change my decision, I tell them, wait, hang on a second, I don't want a chicken pizza, but I want a chicken cheese pizza. All right. So I tell the person, hang on a minute or hang on a second, which means that I'm going to change my decision. So it's really a phrase that you can use which tells the opposite party that, okay, there's going to be some change in decision now. Hence, hang on a minute or hang on a second. Hang on would actually mean wait. Just wait, I'm thinking about something. The next one here, on second thought, okay. Now, obviously, whenever you're going through different decisions in life, you have different thoughts that you come across, different things that you're thinking about. Let's see how I can explain this to you in an example. Supposing this is a very simple thing, all right? You have a day off, and one of your friends calls you up and asks you, what are you doing today? Are you going to sit at home or do you want to go out and do something? So you say, you know what, let's go for a movie. All right, I haven't watched a movie in a really long time, so let's go for a movie. And your friend says, okay, that's fine, I'm okay to go for a movie. But then suddenly, you don't feel like going for a movie anymore, all right? So what you would tell your friend is, on second thought, let's just go to the park. I think I just need some fresh air, all right? So when you use the phrase on second thought, it means initially you had made a particular decision, but now for some XYZ reason you have changed your mind. That's why before you start your sentence, you're saying, on second thought, this is what I want to do instead. All right? So this means after thinking about your decision. You could also use this phrase, say, when you go shopping, all right? So if you go shopping and you really like a shirt, maybe it's a lovely, a really smart looking blue shirt, and finally when you go to the cash counter to make your payment, something crosses your mind and you say, on second thought, let me buy the white shirt instead. I think that looked really better, okay? So that's after you've thought about your decision. Next one here, it's more formal. So let me just write that down here. It's a formal phrase, this one. After further consideration, all right? You definitely don't use these kind of phrases in a verbal conversation. You will probably use it in written communication or maybe in a business-like formal situation. After further consideration means that you've really put a lot of thought into something. You've really sat over a particular topic and really put in a lot of effort to make a decision. Let me give you an example. Supposing you are a business person, all right, and you need to invest in a certain project. You're investing a lot of money into that particular project. So obviously, you will really have to think about your decision before you go ahead and invest your money, all right? So here you could use this phrase and say, well, after further consideration, we have decided to definitely invest the money because we liked the business plan. So after further consideration means you have put in a lot of thought. And it's a formal phrase. Remember, you can use it in a business-like or a formal situation or even in written communication. And then we have this one which is completely different. Okay, it says he, or you could even say she. He or she convinced me or persuaded me. Now, what's the meaning of convinced or persuaded? Convinced or persuaded is when someone makes you do something, all right? Say, for example, if you want to get a makeover, all right? and you have decided to go to a particular hairstylist. Who you go to, you've been going to for the past many number of years. But a friend of yours knows a hairstylist who is really good and does a really good job. Now, obviously, your friend would really have to say some really great things for you to be able to be convinced or persuaded to go to the new hairstylist rather than your old one who you've been seeing for a very long time. So when someone convinces or persuades you to change your decision about something, that's when you can use this particular phrase. Alright? So say in a situation, maybe if you planned a holiday trip and you were planning to go to Malaysia, alright? You've decided and you started doing your research about Malaysia. However, this friend of yours comes in and says, you know what, Australia is a much better place, it's really good, there are great places to visit, etc., etc., etc. So what happens then? Your friend has convinced you or persuaded you to change your decision. They have influenced you in a different way. So basically, this phrase means someone influenced your decision. So if I want to make a sentence, I could say, well, I was planning to take a holiday trip to Malaysia. However, Paul convinced me or persuaded me to go to Australia instead. Next one here, okay? This one's also quite special. It says, I'm not sure what I was thinking, okay? Now, when will you use this phrase? It's when you've realized that you made a decision which was not logical, which made no sense whatsoever. So, let's look at the same example. Maybe you were planning a holiday trip, all right? But, you did it out of excitement. Just because everyone was going on a holiday, you wanted to go on a holiday too. However, you realized mid your planning that you do not have enough of money for your holiday. All right, you just can't do it. Financially, it's not possible. That's when you'll use a phrase by saying, I'm not sure what I was thinking because I just don't have the money to travel overseas. I can't really travel abroad now. This means that your decision was not logical. You did not think enough before taking a particular decision. So I'm not sure what I was thinking, but I can't really go on that trip. And finally, I did a 180. Now, in school or in college, if you've done math, all right, a 180 is like a semicircle, a half circle, correct? So it's 180 over here means more something like which is opposite, completely opposite, okay? So say for example, you've always thought that swimmers are show-offs, okay? Very random example for you. If you've always thought that swimmers were show-offs, but unfortunately, one day you had an accident in the swimming pool, you were almost going to drown, okay? What will happen then? Your decision or your opinion will completely take a 180 degree, all right? You'll have a completely different opinion now about swimmers. You will realize how good it is to know swimming because you can save your life and someone else's life too. So if you say I did a 180, it means you changed your decision, okay, or your opinion to the opposite. Or say for example, you were someone who was not into fitness at all. You were completely a couch potato. You love to just sit and watch TV all day long. But then something happened and you decided to be a really fit person and work out and lose weight, and you did a complete 180. You changed your opinion or your decision completely. That's when you can use the phrase, I did a 180. right? So this brings me to the end of the lesson. All right. I hope that you have understood each of these phrases correctly and completely. And now that you know how to use them, make sure whenever you change your decision or you change your opinion, you know how to tell the person exactly what you mean to say. All right. I'll be back soon with something much more interesting. Till then, you take good care of yourself. Goodbye.